Other story time now. Just tell me when we're going.
We are going.
Okay. So, um, all right. So we are closing in the center of Freiburg, in the district of Steinhold. We close in very slowly on the Hall of Records, and the late night shenanigans that are on there. Hannelore is busy with, she's got like six or seven um, interns, so to speak, who are really in something of a rehab program. The it's more like they've been volunteered to this duty by Felix so that they don't get into more serious trouble. Um, and she's doing her best to teach them all her like numerical organizational system, which she has reaccomplished several times so that at no point does one of her interns have to count over 10. Um, and uh, there's, the storm outside is kind of still ongoing, but it isn't as fierce in some places, like over the city. It's breaking, and the doors open despite the late hour, and for a moment, Honolulu swings around the rows and rows of documents and records to shake her finger at whoever's coming in so late. But instead, she breaks into a wide smile when she sees Gav kind of fresh out of everything the uh, the business with Hans Upman over in the Dutch Quarter. At the moment, uh, Margot is in his custody with the understanding that like all trust must come from this moment. I don't know if Len is still over there keeping an eye on making sure that she's going to stay there, but the choice is to either kind of like drag her somewhere that is an actual jail or keep her under Upman's custody for now.
Len is probably hanging out in Catlin form or something, so it's not obvious that she's there, and a member of the council is just hanging around a building that probably shouldn't have anybody in it right now.
Yeah. Um, we'll have like a brief cut of like there's a moment where like the cafe that Len used to frequent before everything, the one that like had the coffee place and the kind of spicy uh barista, so to speak, just kind of like sighs at yet another cat hanging around Upman's place. But comes over and just like scoops him up, gives his ears a scritch, sets him down by the other cats that are milling around, along with a little like saucer of dairy that apparently she's been taking over the feeding of the cats while Upman has been away.
You also
Um,
nothing.
um,
Yeah, yeah.
but we cut back to um Gav, Honolulu just smiling, kind of scooting the last few steps like on the balls of her feet to uh throw her arms around his waist. And
Gav, he gives her a hug, like returns it, and how have they been?
um she says, oh, they're learning very fast what not to
The
do, what to do,
what they can get away with.
what they can get away with that I won't call them out on.
I trust Felix has been keeping them in line when you are not watching, huh?
He's been a little busy. He hasn't been here for a while, but they understand that there are certain privileges that come with being well behaved. She kind of like leans up on her tiptoes and she whispers, she says, they get to help me cook if they're well behaved. They get to clean if they haven't been.
Good incentive, da. um, he kind of they sort of like share kind of like small talk for a little bit, and then when he notices that most of the little gremlins are elsewhere, Hannelore, I have very, very important question. I have been doing many thoughts lately, and thoughts of future, thoughts of present. And Gav cannot see you without them. Cannot see you, cannot see himself without you in them. So, Hannelore Uchtdorf, would you do me the honor? And he gets down on one knee and looks her in the eye and produces the ring.
She's uh the little gremlins like just sort of just seem to like manifest out of nowhere, like as the fact that like something like this is happening is just, something in the air. You can see little heads like poking out from like around different parts of different records and stuff like that. And she's just sort of like soundlessly making motions with her hands. um Before she just kind of throws herself at him, and she, while he's like on his knees, she wraps both her arms around his neck. Like she hasn't even really like looked at the ring. Does that make sense? Like there's no study of it, no analysis of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's vaguely registered that it's pretty, but it's the proposal that means everything to her. Um, and she squeezes like she's trying to put, like a sleeper hold on him. Um,
Gav puts his hand at the small of her back and sort of lifts her up as he stands.
and
He whispers into his ears like, I had the whole plan for this, but I was given a choice, and my plans seemed less important.
she kind of there are tears like openly going down her cheeks. And she says, "Did you don't have to do this because of," she kind of pause. She's like, "Did you know?"
Did I know what?
She says, "I've been sick 3 days out of the last five in the morning. I thought I thought you heard and you didn't know."
Gav almost drops her.
It's just like a little squeak, and she kind of catches part of his chest.
I um
Did Gav even know what that means?
oh, Gav knows.
Gav's been around orphans and poor people who,
Jenny's and
yeah.
yeah. It was a Jenny who taught him how to count. He couldn't read, but he knew how to count. Um, it's like, then I guess we have timetable, huh?
She kind of just gives a shrug, and she says, "I tomorrow or a year from now, it's the same to me."
Rosa is going to be so excited.
But she, squeezes his hands and um, just kind of throws herself against him again, and just wraps herself around him. Um, and uh, she starts to sort of like burble. It's like a full like 5 minutes into like questions about like where and when, and you know that she kind of like sees the ring again. And her eyes kind of like what they go wide. She's like, what kind of gem is that? Never seen something.
If she wasn't already like cradled in Gav's arms, he would get her to sit down. It's like, I have had the most interesting day. I met the Queen of the Sea, and she gave me this pearl for you.
Um, and she kind of like holds it up and like offers her hand for him to put it on.
And he slips it onto her finger.
And there's a moment where she just seems to go completely still. And it's like long enough that with all of the weirdness of the last few days, it's just sort of like a Oh no. Before she just starts crying again. And then like loses her ability to talk outside of like squeaks and just wraps her arms around his neck one more time. Um, she's like, if you had not had the strangest adventures in the time that I've known you, I would wonder if we needed to get you to a doctor. But she says it seems to be the nature of the life that you live.
My life has been anything but boring, Hannelore. And I am eager to tell our child these stories.
Uh, she kind of smiles and she says, a while ago I started writing them down, the ones that you told me.
Well, then, it looks like some people have some cleaning to do, so I suppose we have time to make sure I fill in the details.
Yeah, they're just kind of a scattering of feet running in all directions. Like she throws in to like help with like the little space that she has behind there is definitely not meant for like 10 people, and that's the number of people that it's been hosting near every night. It's like kids sitting on the couch, kids sitting on the bed, kids sitting on like the two chairs that are designed with like a single table, all eating off of like a collection of plates that have been as much offerings and not like a dinner set of any kind, you know.
Nothing matches.
No, absolutely nothing matches. And the thing about Steinholt is because of its security, because it's behind stone walls, because of its how long it's been here, all the properties inside it are probably some of the most expensive in the city outside of like the Philosopher's Stone. Um, because it's kind of it's like you are a part of the city and its history if you are living there. So that means that, something for her, even as like the custodian of the Hall of Records, like a house there is kind of beyond her means, especially for just one person. So, um, and longer walks from further distances have made her nervous. So she's just been happy to stay right where she is inside of the hall itself.
Mhm.
So, um, the hour goes late. Um, Dinner's made by, inept hands, but still happy to assist Hannelore. Hannelore itself is like a decent cook, but it's certainly not like the focus of her time or education. Most of the things that she puts together are at the end of the day. And uh, but she's aglow from within. Um, and possibly for more reasons than one. So um she says, do you think your friends would like to come over and have dinner here and we can break the news to them? There's shouting from across the
Yeah,
multiverse.
just like something tells me they would be delighted.
She says, I'll invite Wilma and we'll get together a shopping list, see if they're available tomorrow.
I'm sure she will find the time.
Um, she says, well, yes, I know where all the important documents live, so. um, and so we'll, she shoos everybody out at a late hour. There's a couple like safe places for them to sleep nearby that Gav is aware of. And drags him, back into the room. There's some teasing about like, well, now that I'm pregnant, we don't need to, before immediately just pushing him into the bed. She can't
And
even put up
scene.
with she can't even put up the joke like long enough to
Yeah.
see the sentence through. Um, so we will drop the curtain there and welcome everybody in. So thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Shadow of the Wachtturm. Our producer tonight is one of the moderators of Dirty 20 Gaming, the delightful and compassionate Gloriosa. Our lore master for the series is the beautiful and benevolent Syndra. Before we get started, I wanted to give a content warning. While the spirit of Seventh Sea is swashbuckling adventure and shadowy intrigue, the story will deal with mature themes, including death, loss, suicide, and grief, and sometimes smoochies. Hyson, our setting, is recovering from a 30-year civil war over religious differences. It may get dark sometimes, and there's no shame in bowing out if it's not a place your head can go at the moment. So without further ado, I'm going to have our savvy swashbucklers introduce themselves, starting with our romantic.
Hi, I am Bison_Stonefist. Tonight I'm playing Gav WrestleDaddy the Grin. I was going to say our sewer surf and suplex machine, but he's going to have to keep himself clean for the next couple of months. I'm also here 3 other times a week. On Tuesdays, I run our Cyberpunk Red campaign, Carnage Heights. On Thursdays, I play Garrett Sakes, our resident leather punk, and Hannibal Lecter enthusiast, apparently. On Saturdays, when we play, I am Calvin Scooter Hobbs, lovingly referred to as Big Scoots in the chat. And that is on our Starforged game, Starsworn, which is Starforged is a very unique system. We have 4 players, 4 GMs. They're all the same people. None of us know what the story is. It's completely unique. It's a absolute blast to play / run. If you have time on Saturdays, definitely check it out. Next, let's go with Ruth.
Of course, while I'm biting the skin from around my nail. Hi, I'm Ruth. I am here on Tuesdays as Exit, some Wednesdays as Trek, Thursdays as Nora, and today, Sunday, as Runa. And that's about all from me. I'm gonna pass it on to Len.
Hey folks, it's me, Bat Kyle. You found me, because it's my bit. I've completely overtaken it, and there's nothing anybody can do about that. Mwahaha. That aside, you can find me here on Sundays. You pick the right day, playing Len. We're never actually going to have this talk. There's just going to be something in the way every time, Costin. On Mondays, for at least a couple more Mondays, depending on the choices the players make, you can find me running our Lovecrafty inspired game, The Printer's Devil, with our Discord daddy Kevin. Sarah, I'm in more games than anybody, and nobody's going to take that streak away from her. And Janet. So that's a good time. Otherwise, you can find me generally in various games chats trying to break everybody, including and especially Sarah, who hides from me at this point, and she is wise to fear me. And you can find me on the Discord posting unhinged food memes and generally being a menace there, or modding for people who I also bully. I don't know how this keeps happening. They know who I am. And that aside, over to Rory.
Well, hello, everybody. The fuck was that first word?
Kill him.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm Rory. I'm here tonight playing so many titles and various things, and crazy shits happen to him all the time. Mr. Realization, wonderful leg day soldier boy. Hans Ulrich tonight with these wonderful people in this wonderful game. You can also find me on the same assortment of Wednesdays for Oracle Force, playing Graviton. Who is hoping that the team will stay together after last episode. Go watch it. There was some very cool shit that happened. Other than that, you can find some past, present, and future music stuff on SoundCloud. Although apparently I'm running low on my upload limit, so you might have to find the full live recordings of the DJ sets that I do in the future here on Twitch on another platform potentially, but that's a problem for another day. Other than that, I'm kind of just here. You can't really find me anywhere else for the moment because I don't really do anything else interesting. And with that, let's hear what Rosa's got for us.
Uh, all right. Hey y'all, my name's Sarah. I go by Sans on the Discord. I am on this channel 5.5 nights a week. It's too much. I'm here tonight as Rose and Nyx. Our shit, now I have to have a conversation that's gonna scare me. Strega. Monday on the Printer's Devil, I play Juliet Morningstar. Tuesday, I play Hecate. I shoot everyone that I want to date people who shoot me. In our Cyberpunk Red Carnage Heights game. Yeah. Wednesday, I play in our Mask Oracle Force game, I played Nightwish. I missed the last session. Now my entire team hates each other. What am I gonna do? And Thursday, our City Mist campaign, DB Paradox, I am the DM of the Chaos. Other than that, you can find me over on Tango Productions doing stuff and things with the Scarred Eventual that will come out soon. I am also in competition for the Face of Halloween 2025, so please go vote to me in the link provided. I have too much stuff.
No shame in keeping yourself busy.
Yes. And I think Honorine hasn't gone, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Heyo. I'm Gloriosa, also known as Honorine, our resident noblewoman, and now fish haver.
Fish mom.
Fish mom. Okay.
One of
No.
the few words you can monger for.
No. No, fish haver, I think, is the least objectionable out of all of those words. Anyway, that mystery remains for later. I'm here 3 nights a week, but you can only see me on Sundays. So here I are, and there I go. It's Tisiosa now.
I am Siosa. I am the storyteller for the Shadow of the Wachtturm, as well as running a play-by-post game called Something Wicked. And I think that's all I have going right now. You can find me on the Discord, which is found in the down below. Other than that, I am pretty much allergic to social media. So if you want to get a hold of me, that is the best and only way to do so. All right. So in the ancient days of Numa, the great storyteller and philosopher Ceres the Wiser once noted that an adventure can only begin in one of 3 ways: by death, by slur, or by letter. To begin without one of these incitements is folly, a debacle best described as an indiscretion, a dalliance, an escapade. But fear not, we begin tonight properly girded with a letter, the most seductive of the 3, and thus the most powerful. In this particular case, the letters are going to be. I'm going to let Gav decide what is officially in the invitation to dinner. How formal they are, or
It's semi-formal because it's Gav's best writing. Just kindly inviting his friends to the Hall of Records for an evening and an announcement.
And Felix and gang are serving as the kind of couriers of these messages, so they've got the best idea of like where to find everybody. So I don't think Gav has yet acquired a signet ring to identify himself as he is, a nobleman now.
Yeah.
So they're probably just tied off and trusted that people will recognize Gav's handwriting, and nobody would go to great effort to like try to reproduce it yet.
Honorine at the bear house with like Runa and Rosa like looks at it and she's like, "Oh, you asked." They're all 3 probably just like, "Oh, you asked." Right? Would be my guess.
Rosa's so excited. Just like, he finally asked.
Felix is like, he asked what? Just between the three of them. He hasn't, read the notices or anything.
At least someone in this town is getting married. Which doesn't sound bitter
Let's-
at all.
Can we not talk about marriage at the moment?
Sure,
I
why not?
still need to talk.
Felix just
I
looks
s-
to Runa and he's like, why can't we talk about marriage?
Because we don't talk about boons. Nope, no. So,
We can't hear you. You're muted, Runa.
My bad.
I'm not too sure. We were just asked not to talk about it.
Huh. I gotta plan a bachelor party. All right.
Yeah, the last one is probably the most nervous looking because he's, in a gang of thieves going into the Draken's Tooth with the guards. It's just like a little letter, and he kind of like, he nods at like the one person that's being currently held in the cell, like clearly recognizing him, but then
sup, dude?
but hands it to Captain Hans.
Oh,
You.
oh, this is wonderful. Oh yeah, of course. He's just like, oh shit, cool, at dinner. He's missing a lot of the context, I feel like.
Yeah, and the kid kind of like, I can go.
Oh,
It's like
of
already
course.
backing towards the door. In the moment there's a nod, he's just whoosh out.
Like, you have 10 seconds before I say something. So what would you say? 9, 8, 7.
This message will self-destruct in 15 seconds.
There's a knock on the door just a little bit after the kid goes. And filling out the door frame is Kelby Loring.
Oh,
Wow.
Guten Tag. What brings you around here?
He says, and to you, he says, I wanted to let you know the Wakund has been commissioned.
Oh, well,
He says,
by who?
By the Iron Prince.
Oh, that is
He's
wow.
he's
Tis
dug in to
very
find
good
some
news.
funds to have us scout Hilgrin's lands to the south. He says, get an
Oh.
idea of where the ghosts and their armies are moving. We're not meant to engage, just to assess.
Let me know when you are having a meeting or two about that. I may have some information I can bring to the table as well.
I accepted the commission last night. If you have anything of use, I'd be happy to hear it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, I mean, I could give you a brief overview right now if you'd like, but it's
You're familiar with the lands?
vaguely. It has been. Did I tell him? I did. I told him the story, right?
You had kind of told him that you'd come back from the dead.
I think I gave him the vague, like the cliff notes, effectively.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit foggy up here after the whole thing, you know.
I don't, but I will take your word for it.
But
He kind of
somewhat familiar, and I've had to some other insights as well as of late.
he kind of pauses to like close the door and like pulls a chair up to the other side of Hans's desk. It says there's no decision made as yet about a marshal for the city. Apparently, some of the nobles have put up a few academically trained, professionally qualified types they'd like to see in the position. And they have been making arrangements to show their qualifications.
Oh, having sort of like a friendly competition of them or something?
I think they're playing chess. And like it might be more than that, but you can tell Calbia's assessment of it is like
It's
it's a
just like,
war game at
yeah.
best. You know what I'm saying? And not
Yeah.
anything like a reflection of like what it's really like to command.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, that's believable.
and he says, "Tell me what you remember about Hilgrin Lanes, what you know of it."
I mean, it'll give a recount as best he can remember of the like they're marching from effectively the capital out to the front lines as kind of like this is he'll preface like this is my vague memory, so there's probably some details that have changed. There's probably
And
some stuff that I'm completely like misremembering, but this is like
it's
a vague layout of what it's like.
it's strange how much like fills in as he's kind of like trying to look for details. You know, like he starts to remember like major roadways, the major towns, like significant monuments. Hilgrin's lands are a land of monuments. Like it's just like one war monument after another of some fallen noble or ancestor or whatnot. Like it's filled with them. It was at the center of Eisen, you know what I'm saying? And Eisen was a place of war. And
Mm-hmm.
many of the greatest battles were like all commemorated there. To the point that like there are now memorials that nobody even remembers what they were originally for, and everything is corroded away, but seems like an important soldier guy to keep up there. So
Yeah, knock it down. Yeah, he looks important.
um and you know he kind of he grabs whiskey and kind of strokes Plop's head and listens as Hans kind of falteringly like goes through things. um he says, I think I'm gonna push off tomorrow instead of today. I'm gonna come back with a map and see how much we can work out together as key locations.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I one more thing before you leave. I do know the ghosts have taken up in they've taken up Hilgrin's place now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
um I have the full name for it. I don't know if I can pronounce it.
that's fair.
It's like the Gottschalk or something.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
multiple T's, nose, and
Oof, yeah. It's a
I'll try mangling it later.
bit out of my depth for sure. They've taken up Hilgrun's old residence, and I think they're holding some prisoners there as well.
Um, he kind of lifts an eyebrow. He says, "Anyone you know?"
I cannot say for sure, but I've seen some things, and just kind of vaguely gestures to the way he looks. It's very complicated. I get some visions, and they're taking some prisoners. They're generally uh, harassing the civilians and destroying things, burning homes, and they've left a somewhat clean path in their wake of destruction and chaos, as far as I know and as far as I have seen.
He says, "Do you want to ride with us?"
Thinks for a minute, and he's like,
He says, "We can leave tomorrow. We can get you a horse before then. You know the terrain."
"Huh? Why not? Let's go onto the bridge."
He says, "That'll beat a map then."
We leave depart dawn, dusk, sometime in between.
He says, "We'll leave tomorrow night, ride through the night." The ghosts are notorious for being most active during that time, but it'll take that long to get deep enough into that I'm concerned.
Yeah, yeah, they've got a pretty good head start on us right now.
Um, I need to go talk to Logan and see if we have permission to liberate any captives. That
God.
that elevates our operations a little bit.
Just this look of like, oh shit, this is getting big now. Like all the training and all the stuff he's read and all like old operation documents and stuff. This is like there's just a very like, oh great, we have to do all this paperwork now kind of thing. He realizes that he's like this could turn out to be a very big deal.
Says, I'll talk to Logan and make sure that we're authorized to do so.
Yeah, right.
He kind of stands up and claps hands on the shoulder. Says, get to our encampment tomorrow. Midday's fine.
Sounds good. No,
yeah,
offers like a. They do. I imagine they do like the not Terminator, whatever. Like the classic, like the big handshake.
That's from Predator.
That's Predator, right? It's Predator. Yeah,
the huge armed,
yeah, exactly.
hand grasp.
Dylan, you son of a bitch. Yeah, that one.
All right. Yeah, and Loring heads out, and Hans realizes that to leave literally the country that he's in, even for like a short time, he's gonna have to set up some stuff with the guards.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do now.
There's been some interesting stuff happening in Feinhardt. There's like a couple guards that have don't want to call it like permanent arrangements, but like the head of the Leaky Jugs knows that there's like one or two guards she can always reliably go to, and they'll look into something for her. Does that make sense? That doesn't mean that they're her guards, you know what I'm saying? But like kind of every guard has been different communities or businesses or whatnot that they will check in first when they start their shifts. Like, has anything happened? Do you guys need anything?
They've kind of like naturally found a starting point that they like hanging around.
And for Hans, it's kind of worked because he can frequently go to like a specific guard that he knows is checking in on a specific business a lot. And usually, even if they don't know him personally, that guard has an idea what's going on. Like the one who's down by the brothels always knows kind of like if they've been having trouble, but he tries to manage things to a point where he doesn't have to bring things to Hans. Because if it's like just somebody getting rough, you can go beat the hell out of somebody. If it's a larger problem, if it's beyond the scope of like what he knows how to figure out, that's when they'll come to Hans. So but he's got to go to a second and kind of get some things settled so that he can be like, I'm not going to be available for.
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for a bit, guys.
And they're like, have you let the captain know in Steinhall?
He's next on my list. I'm headed there anyways this evening for another thing, but yeah, I'd have to tell Vasya as well.
All right. So I want to kind of cut and see who's got something that they'd like to do before the dinner. Go ahead, Rosa. Let's say your hand first. So
Len and Rosa need to
The talk.
You'll be able to find him at his home. Eventually, he does arrange for guards, and he's not like watching that house, the Upman house, 24/7 or anything. So, all right. So she has a key at this point.
Probably, yeah. And it is absolutely the most anxious. Like, keys are jangling at the door. Like, do I actually do this? And eventually, she does.
And Len's just sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Just kind of, he's got
a bottle
making
of wine, it worse.
2 glasses, and he's just like, I thought about getting up and opening it just to tip the scales, but I really wanted to see if you were, you were actually up for this. I didn't want to force your hand.
No, I need to explain this. It's not fair to you.
And you pull out a chair, get her seated, pour a little wine. No snacks or anything, because they're gonna go, congratulate the, bride
The happy
to be, yeah,
couple.
because everybody knows Everybody knows, at least like the bigger, the obvious part of it.
Yeah. Before the council, I didn't use my abilities. And she absolutely does her trick with the cards. This requires so little of my actual ability, but it's great for show. And being the Strega who was raised Vaticine to hate myself enough to decide it's better to fake it all than to actually use it and risk, damnation for all eternity.
Yeah, I really don't understand how anybody can actually buy into that religion at all. But I do guess I have it kind of different because I've actually spoken to a god before.
I was raised going to mass every Sunday with Padre Siosa.
Okay.
It's why I'm so close to him.
So what changed to make you suddenly want to start using your magic?
You all did. I wanted to be of help. I wanted to be able to protect you all. And then with the bug monsters that showed up and realizing I was the only one who could see them, I didn't see another choice.
Do you still believe in that the use of magic leads to damnation? I mean, your case is kind of special, love, but we have a fair amount of magic being flown around here, and I will say, at least from the outside, I could see how they would think at least half of the folks who can use some sort of magic are probably damned in one way or another. I said from the outside. I don't believe it, but I believe your actions and what you do with that power are what define you, like any power.
No. But at the same time, that was my family's beliefs for generations. And she fully lets the webs be seen on her hands, the fate lashes. When I got these, it was kind of a point of no return for me of there's no hiding what I am anymore.
Yeah. No, I can see how that would have how that kind of just put everything out in the open. And that's not even counting evil granny.
And that's an even more worry, as I'm not taking Map's offer.
Can't even trust Zoom anymore, can you?
Nope. I looked down at the wrong time.
Yep.
That happens to me all the time on Thursdays too. I don't know if I can help her, but I fear for the future of any possibility of relationship for us. I don't know if it's safe for me to even have children, because there's a chance that they're if I have a daughter, it's Strega.
Or he points to his eyes. Or, depending on things, could be a kitten, could be a bear cub. Maybe they could throw fire. I mean, Honorine does fire things. Doesn't have that whole Strega thing going on.
That's more her story to tell than mine.
Yeah, I wasn't fishing for anything. I'm just saying, Auntie Napalm sounds pretty awesome. But I do know that we, as much as I think anybody in this world right now, know that life is very short and the future is not promised to us. And I'm not going to live my life scared of, evil Meemaw or a child having one of our magics or having no magic at all. There are too many uncertainties to say I'm not going to do this until it's safe. This is not a safe world, and we do not live safe lives.
No, we don't. But I do want to live it next to you.
Are you sure? I shed a lot. He just laughs, but then he takes one of her hands. He's like, and I definitely want to live it with you. I'm not gonna trample all over Gav's moment. I don't think we're quite there yet, but I am committed to what we have.
As am I.
Good. And I know it'll probably be a while before they get there, but until then, I do mouth stuff, and he just says with a chuckle and pours a little more wine.
That was not something I have been told about before.
Then you will have a really fun education one of these nights. Possibly tonight, who knows? A Vadicine upbringing definitely would not, well, maybe some of the altar boys, but in the main would not lead to knowing some of the things that I know.
Holy breaks everybody.
There we go. That was my big break of the night, and otherwise he's just gonna be like, all right, so did you need to, was there anything else did you want to know anything about me? I think I've been pretty open about what my life has been.
Much more open than I have.
Well, I mean, I was raised, maybe not comfortably, but I was raised in a land that very much embraces the magic of our people. And we know our goddess exists. She and her servants definitely make sure we do not forget that she exists. So, yeah, faith and religion is good, but I think right now we just have to decide what's right and good for us, and the gods can figure it out later.
Agreed. And she'll probably finish the glass and offer her hand so that they can head to the dinner party.
He'll take the hand and kind of tuck the arm, and they will head on their way.
We are going to cut over to Runa.
This is going to be such a tone shift.
Yeah. No, you need to be here.
Oh, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I was gonna go to the bathroom. I can wait.
Yeah, you should probably wait.
Sorry.
That's funny.
So yeah, she's gonna go find Hans.
He's probably still just at his house.
Yeah. She's gonna
Or
not.
actually, no. Probably not anymore, actually. He's probably at his office in the Dragon's Tooth. In Finehearth.
Well, she'll find him there. She knows the spots he's usually in.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 spots, if I'm correct. She's just gonna knock before walking in. He's in his office.
Yeah, he's probably milling about the like common areas, so that seriously. Hello, Runa. It's good to see you.
You as well.
What brings you by here?
Remember our talk last night? I'd like to help you find your sister.
Oh yeah, right. Come with me. Walk into like his actual like little secluded office. Shut the door. No one should be snooping. Sent most of the guards out on rotations and to deal with a couple of other things now.
All right. I don't know her and I've never seen her, so I need you to think about her really hard. Whatever you remember that I might be able to pull from.
It has been some time, but I can give it a try. Like he sits down, closes his eyes. I think he's definitely. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of memories still. I don't think, but he's going back to the ones that have recently opened up and like fully revealed themselves again, like the days before he was deployed and whatnot.
Yeah. The one, because we rolled the magic already and it was successful. The one that is kind of continues to pop up is the image that the Shadow Man showed him of his sister in chains in the for Runa, when she kind of finally does get something that she can really focus on. Like, because at first it's like these swimming images that are like out of time. Does that make sense? Like they're not of a person who exists now. They're a person who used to exist, and so they're not useful in finding the sister. And so when Runa does suddenly have the image close in, she sees the girl is like 14 or so at this point, 15. She's developed enough and pretty enough that she's in some danger being in a palace full of people who enjoy their power over others. Does that make sense? And she's actually kind of catching her getting ready to go back out and doing things like kind of quickly binding herself down, using like she dips over to like a drawer and she adds like uses makeup to like make some of the bruises she has more dramatic. Does that make sense? To look like she's in a worse state than she is. It's all kind of like quick and rapid signs of cleverness, but also somebody who has like survived in an abusive environment long enough. They've learned some frightening tricks. Does that make sense? Like anything that she sees very quickly, like when she takes a moment to stop and think about it, she's like, "Oh, I don't want to know how she learned how to do that." And and she moves out and she's still kind of like got like shackles and the like, but like they're not chained together or anything like that. It looks like she's required to wear them in case they decide to chain her on a moment's notice. Does that make sense? And she spends most of the brief time that Runa is seeing her like moving and setting down drinks and stuff like that, doing her best to avoid the hands of some of like the more aggressive ghosts. Um, and adopting what Runa will recognize is like a very common Eisen accent. Somebody who is noble has like a different kind of way they speak, a different language they're actually trained in. That's called High Eisen. That is usually like a dividing line between the lower and the upper classes. She's speaking the lower tongue with a very deliberately uncouth accent. Does that make sense? It's like the equivalent of like hearing somebody speak Cockney, and they're kind of like, "Yes, governor, what can I, you know?" There's just a natural assumption of lower class. She's hiding everything about herself from these people and letting them assume that she was just a common servant that Hilgren kept around.
She's relaying information to Hans as she's seeing it. Does she, unless I can't do that?
Yeah, no, she can talk.
Well, like relaying like small things, like she appears to be living as a servant and stuff like that. Can I tell where she is?
Yeah, they're in she can't tell, but when she describes it, Hans can certainly tell that is the Imperial Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead, I want one more thing. You guys are gonna kind of combine on this, but I want Hans to make a wits and commander roll.
Okay. 22.
Okay. By the number of forces that Bruna is describing here, this is where the majority of the ghosts are quartered.
Of course.
Now, there might be some spread across doing active missions and stuff like that, but this is where they come back to break camp, to rest, to be safe, so something like 80% of their forces are going to be based out of the Imperial Palace.
Bastards.
I'd like to help you get her back.
Well, this has been a lot of help already. I ride tomorrow with the Vakund. They are heading into Hilgrand's lands to do some reconnaissance and investigation into what else the ghosts are up to, and potentially to liberate some of the civilians in the areas. I mean, I can see if we have the capacity to bring more of you if you would like to come. This is just so you know, you would be signing up for a potentially unsanctioned military operation in technically hostile lands. Depending on what Koenig Logan says, may have some it's ridiculous. May have some not so positive outcomes.
I am prepared.
I just wanted to let you know of most of the bureaucratic dangers of what we are doing.
I would like to help.
Well, I'm going to that camp tomorrow. If we can bring you, I will let you know, and you're welcome to come and kick some ghost ass with me. Sure you want to beat up some of them as much as I would.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. This was informative. It's much beyond what I've seen.
If there's ever anything else you need, I'm happy to help. Oh, if you guys have the resources to have me, I can scout ahead. I used to do it all the time on the ship.
That could prove useful. And that's kind of part of why I'm going as well. I'm one of the few people who's willing to embark on a mission like this who still knows at least some of what
But I can see it
the
before we
lands
get
are
there.
like. Oh yeah, I would probably make a pretty good navigational team actually. Well,
So do let me know.
yeah,
I'll
of
be
course.
prepared to come.
Do not want do me a favor. Don't tell the others right now. Don't want to interrupt the evening.
Okay.
Just this is my burden. I thank you for offering your assistance, but I don't want to burden everyone else. At
You have my
least
trust.
not tonight.
I hope I have yours. This is her saying, I won't say a word.
He just nods and well, should prepare for the dinner tonight.
Yes, I will see you there.
Indeed. Just walk you out of the building, wave, and then finish up the paperwork and schedule shifts and whatnot that he has to finish up before he gets ready.
He has an entire basement full of alcohol if he wants to bring like a keg of, his gift.
Actually, yeah, party favor. That's not a bad idea. Actually, he'll probably bring some booze for the dinner.
All right. So I think that's kind of there's actually one more quick scene that I want to run um before uh oh wait, actually no, Len and Rose are proceeded there directly, so never mind. So we're uh, Gav and Hannelore are, busy through the day, kind of running around and setting stuff up. How much is he letting her take the lead on that? How much does he want to?
Things of a courtly nature and like honestly, Gav's rarely seen the inside of a kitchen he wasn't trying to steal from. So he's all fingers when it comes to actually doing that. So he's kind of taking her lead. If she needs help with any of the actual cooking or getting prep done, Gav can't cut his fingers.
Um, yeah, there's a lot that she's happy to for an occasion, like just go to a bakery and just go to like the kind of places that'll be catering or bringing things to it and stuff like that. She actually buys like a fairly large table just to set into the Hall of Records that they can like put actual chairs around and candles up rather than trying to squeeze everybody onto their couches because there's going to be more people than can fit in her residence. Um, and Zucker arrives like a little bit early, like, I do this for a living. I can help. Or if you need. And she just kind of like, absolutely not. You were a guest to this. He looks a little like, but I could.
I'm good at it.
I could get the napkins for you. She just like keeps like shooing him away, and
I'm kind of seeing like every time she's not looking, he's like setting a particular spot, putting everything in the right order while she's not looking.
yeah. And uh, there is like a sort of amusing interaction between I'm actually stealing from Henri about this where Wilma like sees that like she's like in the Hall of Records and she's like, how many times have I told you that you're welcome to reside in my home? Like Wilma has an estate here, and Hannelore is just like, oh no, that's not necessary. And Wilbur just kind of gives like one of those like long suffering sighs of like there are just plenty of things that she does not try to talk Eisen out of. She only has so much willpower to spend throughout the day on things that matter. So, but she is a fairly early arrival, just mostly to see if like if there's anything that they need before the dinner event. She's extremely excited to be going to a low-key dinner because most of her nights are, one visiting noble or another. So, um, the part of the hall records where the table is set up, Zucker does disappear and come back with like some curtains and standing rods so that it can be kind of like walled off and given an air of privacy. Still has like a vaulted ceiling because it's one of the larger buildings, but it works for like more of a sense of intimacy and stuff. Um, and I think at around the time Hannelore sends Goff to like meet people at the door and welcome him in.
Come in, come in. I do not know the process for this, so
Henri
follow these
arrives last after trying to decide if she's like, do I do the more casual stuff that will make them more comfortable, or like this is a dinner with people that I value, and she's totally doing the cheaty thing of like, I could wear the nice dress and make everyone uncomfortable but show my esteem, or I could wear the not nice dress and everyone would be comfortable but I would feel like I'm insulting them.
Just
Wanna
don't
show them,
introduce his
hey,
third
big man.
choice.
Give him a little pop on the shoulder. Where do you want us?
Over by the curtains. We have closed the place off.
Oh, it does seem pretty cozy. Still smells like old books, which is a good thing.
Mm.
You know, we'll wander in, and Glenn will just hang out. He knows better than to try and start with, how can I help? What can I do? He's just there as a guest, and he's being an guest.
Yeah, shit. Can I see Onalore?
Yeah. She's kind of like bustling around with like the arrival of food and stuff like that through another door. Like she's kind of, okay, some of this is going to be brought out later, and
yeah, Rosa wants to see the oh, which thread is it?
family is going to be staves. Love is going to be cups.
Yeah, I was thinking cups. Okay, so it's 3. No, that's keep. Cups, so 8 keep 3. $27.
Okay. I will let Gav describe which thread he has.
Explain that to me. I'm not a straight witch.
Okay, so there's 4 threads. Well, there's 5. One of them is death, but he's not feeling death towards anything. And death doesn't appear as a feeling. Death just appears when death's going to happen. Coins is a mercantile relationship, which like would be appropriate if it was like, oh, I'm hoping it's a girl so that like we can do an arranged marriage. Like the people who have that kind of relationship to an unborn child are probably nobles without a ton of like personal relationship to their children. Swords is antipathy. The I'm just gonna skip that because I can't imagine Gav having that. Staves is authority, but it also works as like family connections and like sort of like, this head of the household relating to a child. He views it as his place in the world to sort of like give them structure, safety, discipline, etc. And then there's cups, which is like love, passion, etc. Rosa will only see the strongest of 4 threats. Does that make sense? You can have multiple relationships to a child. Okay.
And that's what I was rolling, was cups.
It's 2 separate threads towards Hannelore. Understandably.
There's a thread towards Hannelore herself and a thread towards the child.
Yeah.
And they're both cups. Okay.
And I was rolling cups.
Yeah. Well, because she only sees the strongest one, she can see that for both of them, the strongest relationship is cups. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so I think
here,
Glenn
give me
is
this.
used to this.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where does Gav fit with Hannelore and child? Like,
at this moment in time, probably a 9 on both.
Okay.
He's just There's also like because I know Rose can't see, but there's a bunch of nervous energy tied up in that. Because obviously, but he's definitely head over heels right now.
Mhm.
It goes to 11.
Uh,
Honolulu is very much reciprocal in all of that. So they are
yeah.
just oozing cups energy.
Yep.
Their cups runneth over.
Yeah.
Save that for after the
Ro-
dinner, buddy.
Yeah. Rosa sees it and immediately grabs Len's hand. And would Len actually know? Would Len be paying attention that, oh, she just turned on her magic for some reason?
um,
I
yeah,
would
her
say
eyes going
so.
black.
Yeah, the eyes turn black.
Because she was already like super excited on the way over, just doing the, I imagine just doing the little, he asked her, it's gonna be so cute.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden to go from that to
With the
so
black
looks at,
eyes.
yep.
A little bit after the two
Yes.
of them come in, Felix approaches Gav. He is actually wearing like a suit. It's small and it's suited to him. Like Gav can tell he has an upman coat, like that's been sized down to him.
Honorine 100% offered to pay for that, by the way.
It was Hannah who paid for it because she
Oh.
wanted to see that he had one, and he got it because it was like Hannah's party. So, but like Honorine can absolutely see little Felix with a suit, like probably for the first time she's ever seen him in one. In a very sharp, I mean, Upman's coats are master tailor, so
Oh, that's what it feels like when your ovaries twinge. Okay.
Gav, absolutely ear to ear grin. And he's like, I did not know we would have royalty with us here tonight.
Oh, go inside. Go be with your lady. He's like, I'll get the door.
Ruffles his hair.
It took 20 minutes.
I put starch in it and everything.
But yeah, but he will take over the door duties, and he has a pretty good idea who's allowed in and who's not.
No. We'll be sure to get you some later.
He looks puzzled. But I assume kind of like Honorine coming up after that. And Felix does his best like bow and like milady and opens the door for her.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so Honorine is trying very hard not to do like, oh my god, what a cute little man you are. Like she's like, she starts to sort of say it and then she like visibly, viscerally clamps down on it. And it's just like, thank you, Felix.
And
she did go with the more casual attire, by the way, in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like he doesn't know. I don't think he quite understands like the vibe he gets off of Honorine. You know what I'm saying? It's like by wearing the suit wrong, she was looking at me awful hard. But he
She did
kinda
say
like,
he looks very nice. You look very nice.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's like as somebody like the first time I was wearing a suit, even when I got a compliment, it was like very easy to second guess. Like, are they saying that to say it? And he's never had like fine clothes before. Like he's used to literally his belt being like torn cloth that he's turned into a belt. So, um, but yeah. So I think Hans and Runa are showing up last.
Probably. He's probably a little bit late.
So to flash fairly quickly over the conversation with the captain, letting him know that he's going to be out. Is he telling him that like there's a possible foray to the south?
I think at this point he knows better than to get too involved in the chain of command. If Logan feels like that's something that Vasya needs to know, then Logan will tell him. It's kind of his mentality. You know, he's just saying, I'm going to be away for hopefully just a few days. I'm going to be away for a short time off with the Wachtturm, doing a little bit of reconnaissance. Set up everything with my men. They'll know they've changed their schedules. There shouldn't be any gaps or anything. I apologize in advance if something goes horribly wrong while I'm away.
Yeah, and the message to the letting Vasya know gets, you know, it's going to be fine that he's gone for a bit. He doesn't go into all the details of like where he's going and whatnot. But by the time Hans and Runa are approaching the door, very discreetly, Logan Seeger is arriving as well. He's not wearing anything to kind of like, he doesn't like physically look the part of an Iron Prince. Does that make sense? He's not running around in the Dracheneisen. You know, not making a point to look like it. Does that make sense? And since he physically looks like a scribe, you know, it's no wonder that like he and Hanalord know each other. Hall of Records, scribe. Yeah. And so he's arriving at like the tail end of everything, and like Felix's eyes kind of go wide at like the sight of him. And he's like, "Do you want me to announce you?" And he's like, "No." He says, I'm just here to celebrate the good fortunes of friends.
I assume they probably arrive about the same time as Felix, look at you. My goodness. You're such a distinguished fellow you are. Clap him on the shoulder. It suits you quite nicely. Very good.
He grins about it, you know, like you can tell like he's in a place where it's like he's enjoying the compliments, and he's also like, you know, he's young enough that this conflicts with everything he understands about his own identity. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
Like, and so he's just kind of doing his best to like adapt and be good natured. So,
as Runa walks up, I love your suit. You look great, Felix.
He's like, "Thank you. I like your dress."
Thank you.
Felix, I brought some extra beverages for everyone. Do you know where I should put these? I don't want to interrupt anyone else right now.
He says there's a bunch of. He kind of looks and like realizes that the keg like Hans has in one arm is like something he could not lift on his own. Like, oh, I'll take that. Never mind. And kind of directs there's another entrance to the Hall of Records that like the catering and everything has been going through. And
we'll loop back around to drop off the keg and then come back through the main entrance.
And Felix kind of grabs Runa's hand before she goes. He's like, "When you have some time, I want to talk to you about tattoos."
Okay.
Now.
Okay. Well, you know where to find me.
So, all right. And Felix comes back in, and he pulls a place up for himself after like it's clear that everybody's there. He does choose to sit by Honorine. And he kind of like leans closer, and he's like, "If there's a lot of silverware, will you tell me which order I'm supposed to go in?"
Absolutely.
Aww.
She's gonna kind of reach over and like kind of just put her hand over his and squeeze it a little bit.
And he kind of like squeezes back and then grins after a moment. And after a moment, kind of like under his breath, like Honorine hears him. She doesn't think she was meant to, but he goes like, "How is she not married yet?"
That is the question, dude. She doesn't say it out loud, but she's like, "That is the question, dude."
All right. So Hanalor comes out, like they start bringing out food and everything. She kind of looks to Gav, like, almost everybody here is like his friends, and also there is. I don't want to say like Eisen is like patriarchal. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
like Vidachi is patriarchal. Eisen has had a lot of powerful and influential women throughout the course of its history. It doesn't have like the same presumption, but like certainly within the context of their relationship, she definitely kind of, I think, looks to him in a lot of ways that, oh, there's an announcement. Gav can make it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after the first course, everybody's kind of got settled in. Gav stands up and he's like, looks everyone, um, looks everyone over. He's like, my friends, Koenig, I Gav was not expecting a day like this to ever come. Um, People do not notice Gav, not normally, unless they are scared of him. That has not been the case these last few months. And I have grown quite close to the most interesting young woman. And last night, after we got back, I asked her to marry me.
There's 100% a little bit of a look on like Zucker's face of like, already, but we didn't finish the plan. But he doesn't say anything. Does that make sense? It's just like
He's like disappointed.
spontaneity.
Congratulations.
Honoring is totally like, yay!
Yeah. Yeah, Felix totally puts both his fingers in his mouth and like whistles as loud as could be imagined. Yeah.
Honoring's gonna do it too. She's not as good as he is, but she's gonna whistle too.
Yeah.
Echoes for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, Hans just gives his best, like effectively hoorah. It's like, yeah.
And he kind of looks to Hanalor. It's like, do I tell him the second part?
She
Meanwhile,
She's
nobody
kind of
needs
like-
to be told, as Rosa's face gives the entire thing away.
yeah.
Rose is trying to hide it so badly, y'all.
Oh wait, shoot, I forgot. What did you roll on that? 27?
27. Yes.
Okay, so there is one thing that Rosa knows that Hanalor doesn't yet, which is that when she looked at cups from Gav to Hanalor, there weren't 2 threads, there were 3.
Oh my.
Ah!
Oh my.
What?
That's crazy.
Oh
Um,
wow.
Yeah, but Hanalor completely like blurts out like we're having a baby.
Sure, a baby.
Rosa should blurt out 2! That would be really funny.
And she kind of immediately like she starts doing the like I'm showing off the ring. I'm like burbling out answers to any questions that are asked. Uh, kind of explains like she's been sick like 3 times now, and
Hannelore,
How
if
are
you
you
have
doing?
any questions,
How far along are
sh-
you?
if you have any questions, I'm sure Sora would be happy to help.
Have you thought of names?
And Hanlor's like, well, there was this one time we went up on the roof and Gav was going to paint something and I sort of distracted him by and I'm fairly sure that was the time. Absolutely, like putting their business, on main.
I'm
like,
gonna
without
cover
really-
Felix's ears.
Gav's just blushing. Just
Lynn's like, paint me like one of your Montane girls.
Hey,
and she kind of like blushes after the fact as she realizes, like Zucker is maybe blushing a little bit harder than she is. the candid explanation. It's just like a propriety thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh goodness, oh, we're going to hear all the details.
Like, he's not used to hearing all the details. Give me a break.
I think he is. I think it's just not people that like he's as casually friendly with as like Hannelore. Does that make sense? They're guests, they're nobles, they're so. Um, and Logan like
Uh,
comes around to like give her an embrace, and um, there's and he does kind of smile. He says, "I believe we'll have to call you Lady Hannelore till the ceremony is over." Um,
Gav didn't
did
tell her.
And she just kind of, yeah, she looks a little puzzled. You know what I'm saying? And she looks to
He's been so
Gav,
fucking busy.
and Logan like,
Honorine takes Henneler's hands and she's like, "Congratulations!"
I'm confused. And Logan kind of like, I'm sorry. Uh, I have made Gav a minor member of the nobility until such time as I can secure some land to provide him a proper place. And Hannelore, like, her jaw drops because, like, not only is she marrying like the guy of her dreams, but she thought she was marrying like a peasant and a commoner. You know what I'm saying? And like now, like, her and her children are going to be in a different social class. Um,
uh,
and she's like, if you need to know available land, I have an entire hall of records. Um, and Logan kind of like, let's look on that on tomorrow. And she's like, yeah, of course.
uh,
Uh,
Rose is, I think, going to lean over to Gav
In the midst of
and
all
just be
this.
in the midst of the craziness and just, you should take her to a doctor, sweetheart.
it- because of the medicine at the time, it'll
Just
literally be months before anybody can confirm what Rosa knows.
And then,
yeah, because she almost she's trying to tell him like, you're not just expecting one, you're expecting two, and he does not know how to say that.
I think she was like, take her to, oh yes, I will make sure she is very healthy for our entire pregnancy. I mean, this is very important to me. Do you know of any doctors in the city that might speak to one such as me?
I know a guy.
The doctor who treated Felix isn't far from here. But
Honorine's
you're-
like, "Oh, it's just like La Cendrillon," and she's like, "Well, not quite the same, but like, it's your very own Cendrillon story," which is the Montaigne version of Cinderella. Cendrillon is French for Cinderella.
Makes sense.
yeah, Hannelore looks like delightfully overwhelmed. Does that make sense? Just like she's uh sometimes just sort of like nodding to things that without quite registering like what's been asked or you know. And Zucker very seamlessly just starts to sort of take over, like, let's get some food out on the table, let's get some drinks in people's. Hanlor had been trying to shoo him away from it, but he just takes to it like a fish to water and lets her like just be in the moment.
She's too distracted to stop him. Literally, how Bat Kyle gets half of his stuff done, honestly.
yeah.
Hans will go up to Gav, just give him a big hug, and congratulations, brother. You're doing quite well for yourself, huh?
Is definitely not what I expected.
Things seldom are in this
Life
life.
on the streets does not afford lofty expectations, da.
Yeah, indeed. Well, it is. You've done quite well. All of this, like, gestures around. Something to be quite proud of, and you will no doubt have much more to be proud of.
And he says this part a little bit louder. It's like, and I could not have done it without all of you. You are my friends. You are my comrades in arms, and you trusted me, a criminal from the street. And so I appreciate your friendship.
To Gavin Hans.
Um,
Gavin Hanalor. To Gavin
What's the
Hanalor.
polycule?
yeah, it's the first of like a number of cheers. I think like
Certainly.
there's a couple of courses that go out, this questions about do they know where they're going to live, and they have those kind of things hammered out yet. Like any questions about like, do you know when the wedding will be, where the wedding will be?
Zucker gets out a little notebook, and would you prefer?
No, he doesn't get out
spring?
a little notebook. He gets out the one he's already been working on for the past like 3 weeks.
Oh, it's absolutely that tiny little notebook that like they just tuck into their vest. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
yeah.
That they carry dictionaries worth of notes in. So,
Nothing beats the shirt
and
pocket notebook.
Yeah.
yeah, the secret Upman coat that's just more journals. No spy gear, just journals.
Can we have that little whispered conversation like on camera instead of in the cast chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're trying not to talk over everybody. But
No,
we don't want to
seem like
talk over
everybody's
everyone.
trying to get
We're
in.
just gonna kind of camera's gonna frame out on like Len and Rosa and like what they're whispering to each other real quick.
Okay. And through it all, he's just gonna lean over and be like, "You look like you're still holding something back, love."
How do you tell your friends they're going to have twins?
Oh, like this. And Len will get up and kind of wander over and put a arm around you. Like, yeah, I'm sitting right now, and Len isn't. So he can at least get his arm around the shoulders and such, and it'll just be like very quietly, because this is something for Gav first. But he's like, the reason that Rosa was saying see a doctor is not a bad thing, but she used her special sight, and there are 2 new threads.
Gav
going from
chokes
you.
on his beer. Like full spit
The
take.
spray across the table. Like, oh, Len, what
Yeah,
did
Rose
you?
just goes
Oh,
immediately. He like blushed.
I tried to do that smoothly, but the beer was flowing.
It would be easier if you were actually smooth.
He's gonna like open his shirt. He's like, I don't have that much money here. That he's just gonna pat Gav on the shoulder and leave that up to Gav what he does with it, and go sit back down.
He's just sort of looking at Len and Rosa with like the choke tears in his eyes. And
Does she? That's so funny.
Rosa just like,
Perfect.
a very brief like look of complete and total panic.
oh no.
Something that Mr. Adaptable does not do. For the first time, Gav is actually at a loss.
Well, what is it, Gav? Are you all right?
Second bitter. Drink some water.
You look like you swallowed a frog.
Not the frog, no. Gav has much work to do. Must
Gav has
secure a
already done much work, right?
He's like, I have to secure a future for my children.
Children.
Well, obviously, I mean, you're
Scheisse.
not going to stop.
Gav did not mean to say that right away. Scheisse.
Well, you're not going to stop at 1, obviously.
Sort of a
The eyebrows.
nervous giggle. Kind of like no. Perhaps this news shall wait. Just full red face, like from the neck to the ears.
Glancing from Len to Honolulu and Len to Honolulu. Not Len, sorry. Gav to Honolulu. Gav to... My brain is melting.
So, Zucker will kind of as the meal part is sort of like winding down. Um, there's like a knock on the outer door, and he goes out to get it, and he comes back with what's called a rebec. It's not an instrument that's like widely used anymore, and it kind of sits the difference between like a violin and a cello. Does that make sense? It's played on the ground like a cello is, but it doesn't quite have like the sheer size of it. Um, and it's clear after Zucker like retrieves it that it's his, like he had somebody go and get it from his own home. Um, and he also offers a flute to Logan. He's like, "Would you mind joining me so we can give the couple an opportunity?" Um, and Logan's like, "Absolutely, I'd be delighted." Uh, he says, "I know you're surrounded by professional musicians, many of you at the Bear House. So please think kindly of us." But they kind of confer that, it's like kind of like more like classic like waltz pieces and stuff, like the things that are sort of commonly known at this time. Um, uh, Zucker starts to play. Logan joins him with the flute um, to give Gavin an opportunity to ask or Felix totally elbowing him after like even a second's pause.
He extends his hand. Would you like to dance? I cannot
Um,
promise I will be very good.
she kind of she smiles and she says, "I can promise I won't care." Um, Enormous height difference between the two of them. Um, but kind of after like a minute or so, it's I think probably more sway and square step than like you know
Mhm.
dancing of any kind.
The
Um,
finest of middle school dances.
um, and Phoenix will look over to Honorine and then kind of like offer her an elbow.
Of course she'll take it.
All right. And he leads her onto the dance floor, mostly just to kind of like make it so it's not just two people and uncomfortable
Yeah.
and everybody watching them.
Then we'll of course offer a hand to Rosa, shall we?
Rosa takes it and then proceeds to try to not show up or show off.
um, the are Hans and Runa just watching, or
I've, I'd say Hans is he's kind of just leaned back in his chair. He's got a small drink on the table next to him. He's just watching, very satisfied with the normalcy of it all.
Runa's smiling and watching her friends have a good time.
yeah. And after a moment of it, Wilma comes over and just kind of like offers a hand to Runa, like this is friendly. You know what I'm saying? There's no
Mhm. Oh,
necessary
yeah.
coupling off. It's just
She'll take her hand.
um, and then kind of like as they're walking towards it, Wilma just reaches out and snakes Hans's hand as well, and pulls both of them. Um,
No wallflowers allowed here.
Yeah.
all right. Um, uh, Felix is definitely just enjoying it. Uh, he does kind of amuse himself at one point with like uh giving Henri like a twirl or two and he has to like lift his hand as high as he can. It's definitely like much more of like a Castilian thing, but he's kind of picked up his dancing like what he knows from like watching people of all sorts of nationalities do their thing in the streets.
She's gonna duck under his arm, like, absolutely.
Yeah, he kind of does like a little bit of like the Usuran like low kick, portion for a while, see if she like joins in on that in her heels and
She will not.
Len will though. Len knows this one. He'll take a little spot and just hey.
um the uh so at some point things will kind of break apart, and I think Henri had said that she wanted to pull Logan aside for a moment.
Yes. So once he has like finished playing and all that stuff, she'll pull him aside and, you know, kind of in the middle of like, that's your flute playing is lovely. You shouldn't be like self-conscious about it. I think you did a wonderful job. Blah 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 blah.
This is in the military academy. He says, I volunteered to play the flute to help with marches. So it's about the only thing I really enjoyed from my time there.
Well, your joy is clear, and it's lovely. Koenig, may I ask you something? May I ask you about a rumor that I heard?
Whoops.
It has come to my attention, probably by obvious channels, that Freeburg has stopped purchasing food.
If you're referencing the letter, that was Seeger had stopped purchasing food. And he was referring
Seeger.
to Eric. Yeah. So,
I heard you're not fond of pigs.
okay. I was gonna like, do you want to rewind that, or are you just gonna, testing him?
No. You have lovely flute playing. Da da da. Your joy is visible. Probably by obvious means. I heard the rumor that the other Koenig Seeger has stopped buying food. Do you know anything about that?
He looks very confident. He says, my father's farming lands were all destroyed by him during the war.
And salted. It's
beyond repair.
Quite famous.
I know he has been surviving off of purchases from Fischler. And if he has stopped, Fischler's, we should absolutely purchase whatever grain Fischler has to spare. But
do you know why? Or can you guess?
I have a sinking feeling. He kind of looks. Hans, do you have a moment? Could you join us?
No, of course. What can I do for you, Koenig?
This is. I understand that you have a good head for the logistics of command, and I would ask you. I know it's a strange question. 1 second.
No seconds. We're mid conversation.
This is how long, without supplies, or with a minimal amount of supplies, would an army of 20,000 survive the winter?
1,000. I suppose it depends on ration sizes and.
How long could they forage for?
How long could they forage? I mean, do you have a location of this hypothetical?
Seeger lands.
Damage done, and I mean, off the top of my head, certainly not long. Maybe not even through an entire winter. 20,000. I mean, they're still active.
And 20,000 is a relatively small army.
Yeah,
all told.
Maybe 20,000, and there's.
He crosses his arms and he says, I know my father has 20,000 of his own troops, but I know that more than that number has been seen on his lands. Far more.
Oh. Wait, no. Could he? There's no way. What is he doing? He must be up to something then.
Without a doubt.
Could he be, borrowing from neighbors to the west? I mean,
Neighbors to the west are Montaigne, which admittedly their armies are not present, and my father has an axe to grind with the Montaigne. Some of his lands were turned over to them. He says, but my father is not a man to fall back upon emotion when it comes to such large strategic discussions. He will conquer the easiest neighbor, which in this case is not Fischler. He says the Fischler lacks experience. It is
Yes.
Heinzel lands to his east.
Yeah. Heinzel is ill, is he not? Or something. He was not
Heinzel
present at
is
the meeting.
the guy with
Was that Heinzel?
dementia. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Von
has
Vischa.
Oh, right.
Dementia.
Yeah, Von Vischa is the
Right,
one.
Von Wish is. He was the one.
Just
I
who
mean, they're
was
absent.
both
right.
ill to
Yeah.
But Von
to
Wish
an
is
extent.
behind like Fischler lands and Heilgren lands effectively.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
um
Oh, it's nice.
he says the other possibility is that he would have the gall to turn and invade Mondavi lands, which are rich with grain. They are the breadbasket of Numa and the Vadachi.
He's not going to do that.
There's no way he would invade them. With what little he has right now, I would be worried if he is trying to broker some kind of deal with them.
Well, he has the
Potentially to
mountains to
invade.
go through to
To go,
Montaigne.
yeah, and to go to Mondavi lands, he has to get over the river.
That leaves
I'm not part of
Heinzel.
this conversation. Never mind.
Yeah.
That leaves Heinzel. Or Fischler.
I mean, Fischler is inexperienced, but you'd still have to be a fool to attack him with only 20,000 men. Even
Well-
if he's gotten more, Fischler is still there. He can feed these men banquets every day. They can outfight. They can outfight seekers for as long as they have food.
Well, not if he invades and he takes their food and then he goes to Heinzel.
Maybe
Fischler's going to be...
this.
He's going to be concerned with Hilgrund.
Where's the map of Iceland itself? I want to double check.
It's right above the NPCs.
It's all over, actually.
Oh, right, here we go. Okay, here we go.
Hang on, let me close where I opened it so I can look at where you opened it yourself.
Sorry.
Yeah, that would only leave Heinzel. I mean, Heinzel's lands are small. Heinzel himself is not certainly not fit to be leading an army himself. As much as he's a nice man, he's never mind.
And he can get as much grain as he needs.
These days, food might attract more mercenaries than coin.
And he's getting as much as he needs from Mondavi.
Mondavi could be funding.
He says, you know, he is getting food from Mondavi.
Something Atori said. Trading, teaching them Drexel. I'm trying to help Hans.
Did Atori say it to Hans?
I don't think I was there for
I
that.
don't remember who he
I
said it
think
to.
he said it to.
He said it to Honorine.
Yeah.
I mean, he
I
said
think
he
so.
was a hand, but I don't know if he said it to Hans.
I think he said it to Honorine.
I mean, I know he said it to Honorine at the very least,
Yeah.
but I don't know if Hans also received that news.
I don't
somehow.
think I was in that scene. I don't think he was there.
No, it was a relatively personal scene.
Yeah.
So Honorine is going to say he's getting all the grains he needs. Grains. He's getting all the grain he needs from Mondavi.
I mean, that is true. What would Mondavi want from him besides more land?
You overheard? Didn't Hans overhear the conversation that we eavesdropped on during the summit?
Oh, I think everybody did.
Everybody heard that. So when Posen was talking to Daddy Seeger, there was a conversation about
That's when it was from. That's right.
Mondavi propping Seeger up.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Just-
I
what
was
does Mondavi
legit-
benef-
I was legit just worried that I sold auditorium. So sorry, I was really scared.
No.
I'm really
you're fine.
glad there was another conversation about that. Okay. Yeah. So there. What does he benefit? What does he benefit? What does he benefit?
What does Mondavi benefit from providing grain to Siga?
I don't remember the actual conversation.
Well, I can't speak to Mondavi himself, but I have no idea.
Must be.
I mean, there must be something, but seeing into the mind workings of Adachi is beyond me.
This particularly a merchant prince is somewhat legendary for their games.
This particular merchant prince has a hand who is just excellent with his fingers as well. So, hypothetically
Logan
speaking,
absolutely like raises an eyebrow. Like, am I to understand?
No, hypothetically speaking, that was a metaphor, Koenig.
Oh,
Of course.
he's a blush. So,
What I mean is that he is a very capable hand.
understood. What is he doing in Freeburg?
Well, I don't
Ask Mondavi, I guess.
I don't know that he is in Freeburg.
More pointedly, if his prince has got some arrangement that leads to the inevitability of war, Freiburg is far from any place that he would invade.
Well,
You could
I
point
don't-
who I sent a spy here, if he has indeed sent one.
I don't know that he has. There were many people in town for the summit who are not typical denizens.
That's true, but many questions.
Yes, many rumors. I would be lying if I didn't confess to a certain amount of extreme concern where Koenig Fischler were concerned. And Koenig Heintel, to be honest.
Concern on their behalf or concern from them?
Concern on their behalf. Having met them, having spent time with them, and having broken bread with them, how could you not?
Heinzel especially.
I enjoyed both of their companies very much. Are you capable of conveying a message discreetly to Fischler?
Perhaps. I could try.
I would simply like to know if you would like our assistance in whatever capacity we can offer it.
Well, until then, I will do my best to convey that, of course, Koenig. Until then, what do you know of your father and what he could be working on?
He kind of, there's like a way that he kind of zones out. Does that make sense? Like he's retreating into memories that he has tried really hard not to think about for a long time. Like
He's got
really,
the Apocalypse Now
really
music going in his head.
Like,
and Honorine, when she sees the look on his face, she's going to sort of like, I apologize. I should not have asked that. But
he holds up a hand. Says, Koenig Trug was, I recognize, abusive, alcoholic, cruel, and unkind. He was a better father by a long margin than my father. says, my father was a man who believed that everything he had came from strength. He respected strength and strength alone. He considered cunning to be an important element of that strength, to make those who are your enemies never know that they were in your sights until it was too late. He approached everything as a battlefield. Um, Including the raising of a child. He says, I was his bastard. Um, the woman who had me slept with him in order to have a child that she might have a better life. He says, when he realized that was the case and that she was not in love with him as he had felt, he banished her forever, took me, never allowed her to see his child again, and I was never allowed to speak to her. Um,
I think he also may have. DM, didn't I understand that he actually had done away with her?
I think
No, actually, I think
No, I
I
think he
remember. He was just very it was just very graphic. Yeah, never mind. There was a punishment,
yeah.
but not a death.
He says, I never had a woman involved in my raising. He was afraid such a thing would weaken me. He tried to make me the strongest man that would be attending the military academy, but he says by such time I had been struck so many times I was brittle, not strong.
What a limited view.
He kind of smiles a little weakly. He says, I can see now things that I could not as a child and as a young man in academy. And I even believe that in his way, he thought what he was doing was an act of love to prepare me for the responsibilities of being a Koenig. He says, but you asked specifically what I believe that he intends. I believe my father will stop short of nothing save becoming the next imperator. He hated Reifenstahl, hated him with the deepest passion. Says if he took his palace in Heelgrund tomorrow, the first act would be to burn it.
Well, that would be a waste of a perfectly good palace.
My father
Indeed.
burned farmlands rather than feed an enemy.
Comes as no surprise.
He says he sent men into the Black Forest to harvest sap to throw at his enemies in the midst of a battle.
At the same time, my aunt tells me that the land that was taken from him became cease to cease land. I think that's not a secret, and I think that's not a surprise to you. I hope. You can look at a map, but
He's much angrier about the lands ceded to the Castilians.
well, he wrote to my aunt a detailed account of how to stay safe in the Black Forest. He wrote to someone who took over his lands in order to. He saved a lot of lives. He didn't have to do that.
He did not. And I I couldn't tell you what particular machination my father was after. He presents himself as a half-drunk boor, a fool to be easily underestimated. He says, and everyone did. Posen did, Reifenstahl. It worked again and again.
He is a very good drinker.
He says, atop which I think he might well be unkillable, save by Theus himself.
Or till his liver gives out.
Hmm.
He may have threatened his liver, though, into not leaving him. She's trying to
Let's-
add a little bit of levity to the conversation. It's very clearly like just she's uncomfortable, and this is over her depth, and she's not enjoying it a super lot.
It says, if such a war were to break out, one for all of Eisen, I have no doubt that my father would not hesitate to conquer Freiburg, and would leave me alive and place me as a duke once he is the imperator. But if he had to burn the city to the ground to take the nation, he would.
He would stop short of, like you said, not but perhaps the occult that Hilgrund was meddling with would be a resource for him to exploit.
It says, what meddling?
Oh, that is that is something for another time. He's long gone.
And
anyways.
I understand that time might be limited, that you are leaving in the morning?
Indeed. Well, I am going to the Valkun's
leaving?
encampment. Like he kind of hushes himself a bit. I do not want to tell everyone else. This is a much more personal matter. I am departing with the Valkund tomorrow night. We ride for Hilgrund lands to do some reconnaissance on what the ghosts have been up to.
It says, I was approached by Loring tonight asking for permission to free hostages.
I've obtained some information that the ghosts have been harassing the citizens and even taking some hostage and holding them in the Imperator's palace, no less. There's very visible disdain and almost indignation on his face.
How long will we be gone?
I'm not sure. It'd be a few days at the very least, probably a day or two of hard travel to catch up to where they've gotten, if they've been stopping to destroy everything in their wake.
And when are we leaving?
Wait, are we going somewhere? Len just kind of peeks his head up.
Runa, hearing, wait, are we going somewhere, seeing the conversation over there, kind of just looks at Hans and goes, what's going on, buddy?
Literally everyone is like,
Yeah.
No, because Runa already knew about this. Runa was going to go with him, and he
No, I
said not
know.
to say anything.
it's just funny
Walkies?
because like at this,
Walkies?
hey, you want to go for a walk? And everyone's like, walk.
Logan just kind of covers his mouth. He's like, I appear to have ruined the moment.
Runa kind of just like looks at him like, oh dear.
If anyone has ruined something, it is me. I'm so sorry, Gav. I meant to.
Let me go make my apologies to the hostess, and you can discuss whatever preparations you are making for the morrow.
I'm sorry, Gav, to have accidentally intruded on your evening of celebration and festivities. This is. I'd hope to keep this to myself. It's a much more personal thing.
Secrets do not live long in this city, my friend.
Especially not with this group. And especially not when you're trying to be all noble sacrificial hero again. And I don't want to bother you guys with this personal whatever it is.
No, just nothing like that. We're going to Hilgrund's lands tomorrow evening to just see what the ghosts have done. There's stories of them wreaking havoc, and Kelby Loring approached me about this operation. They had already had this planned out. He asked if I'd go as a sort of navigator, having been from there and trudging through there during the war.
You do remember that I'm a really, really good hunter.
Were you not sent here as spy, friend Len?
No, not particularly.
Logan brow furrows as he looks at Len. Like, is there something I need to know?
Way to blow his cover, Gav.
Yeah, thanks,
Logan,
yeah. Everybody's putting out there congratulations on the twins, and we're just going to throw everything on blast.
What?
Oh.
Dude, okay, for the record, Gav doesn't actually know about the spy thing. That was a joke.
Oh, okay. Well, then,
Yeah,
well,
yeah. No, that never came up when he was around.
Okay.
So
All
let's just we'll rewind a little bit of that.
Okay.
So I guess-
Hannelore is still
it's like-
blissfully unaware that she's
Yeah.
about to be carrying two children of
She's
Gav.
gonna be incredibly huge, and it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
it will
Okay.
be. But yeah, so Led's just gonna be like, I'm incredibly good in the woods. You know, I have my ways of gathering additional information, and we have a vested interest in making sure that, you know, the star of the show here, the rising comet that is Hans Leg Day Ulrich, captain of the guard,
You.
you know, rising in the nobility, all of that come back to us. You are something of a linchpin of the stability of Freeburg at this point, whether you like it or not.
It's true. His name is first in the credits and everything.
It is.
Logan looks to Hans for a moment. He says, Kelby Loring is a mercenary and an honorable man, and one I have a great deal of trust for. He says, I have appreciated the work that you have done to safeguard Lionel. For the last week, I have been assailed by young noblemen who have taken elective courses in commandering, who thinks that makes them fit to be a commander.
I read The Art of War once.
He says, there are two people in the city that right now that I have the trust to serve as the marshal of Freeburg. One of them is you, and one of them is Kelby Loring.
Oh, is this like a designated survivor situation? Is he telling Hans not to go?
He says, tomorrow, when you go into Hilgrid lands, if you are captured, you will be known to be associated with Freeburg. Your reputation precedes you. He says, so I can provide no protection, he says, beyond empowering you as the Marshal of Freeburg.
Congratulations, Hans.
Congrats, buddy.
He says, the Wakun is still Kelby Loring's. He says, but if necessary, and you see a situation in which you do not wish to defer to his judgment, you have my authority to override him. And
Runan
if you
slaps him
believe
on
it
the
is,
back as congratulations as
He says-
Logan's talking.
if you believe that in the best interests of Hilgrund, force is necessary, I will trust your judgment and I will back it.
Draws puts the Panzer hand on from his pocket and just he kneels and thump his chest twice over his heart and to that. Cannot think of a greater honor, Koenig.
Good Lord, Eisenman.
Stands and
Oh, signore.
this is
Honoring is totally like, Eisenman, am I right? To Rosa.
He
Lynn's like, I'm certain. What are you talking about?
Logan kind of puts his hand out and squeezes Han's shoulder, and he says, "Come back alive."
I have
I'll
no
make
intention
sure-
of dying a second time.
I'll make sure of it.
Obviously, it did not take the first time. We will be fine.
So, the question that remains, I think, one of many, I'm sure, is is there an heir that should be installed in Hilgrund that would perhaps help bring stability and fill the vacuum that the ghosts have tried to take advantage of?
I think I admire your thinking, and I think that such a step might be disastrous in the very fragile peace here in Eisen.
We were to try and instill our own iron prince in the lands of a recently deceased one. I mean, that.
I think the best we can do is to hope to empower them on a temporary basis to see to their own needs through the winter.
Indeed, to drive the ghosts out is all we can do without throwing the country into chaos
And
again.
I'm not sure that the Wakun is even large enough to do that.
No. And
Probably
do you
not.
remember what the ghosts did just to a shopkeep? For having
The-
the audacity to, or not, sorry, an innkeeper, for having the audacity to be in the room when they came back?
I do. And I can only imagine what they're doing to the people of Yilkren. It is strange to think of Stefan as a stabilizing force, because certainly that was never my experience of him.
Anything but.
He kind of like, I'm so sorry. This is not the occasion for this. I brought a gift. I should give it now and get out of here before I dilute any more of the festivities and celebrations with politics.
And Honoring's gonna also glance around and realize that like half the room has been drawn into her little aside because their heads popped up like gophers.
Honolulu just kind of like, she's like, Prince, you are seeing to the safety of Freiburg. There is, and um, he kind of like just stops and gives her a hug. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's like the kind of hug that they've been friends for a long time. You know, and she just, and he's still weirded out by her calling him Prince of anybody.
Honorine is
So-
just like, I'm so sorry. She's going to like kind of move away from him and like very much try to end the conversation and be, I am so sorry, Honolulu. My apologies.
Everybody should try these sausage rolls. They're really good.
Yeah, Logan does have a gift for her, and it is like, you know, she is like, you don't have to do it's just a like it's our celebration. You don't have to bring us anything. And he's like, I am the Air Prince. I have to bring people things everywhere I go now. And so, but like, you know, she opens it up and it's like it's paper is extremely expensive. Like in this era we don't think of paper as like a possibly expensive thing, but really books were treasures because there was so much goddamn paper. And it is literally like reams of paper, things to bind them with, ink, quills, everything she might need to be like writing and writing and writing. Um, and she gets like misty-eyed over it, like hugs it again.
I mean, the printing press has only been around for a couple hundred years, so
Yeah, well, no, there is like a different quality of paper that is used for the printing press and stuff like that, but like I think actual paper at this time for like books is still very much an expense. It's not like guilders per page or anything like that, but it's certainly like enough that like most people aren't keeping more than a few sheets around their home for some letters. So, um, all right, the and he heads out after that. Felix kind of like looks to Gab. He's like, "You want me to make sure he gets home okay?"
Da.
Yeah. And Felix stops and like grabs Honorine's hands, and he's like, "Thank you for the wonderful evening, lady." Kisses her hand.
thank you so much in kind, sir.
What
Sir
a
Felix.
distinguished young man.
And she is not condescending about it. She's like, thank you so much in kind, sir. Sir Felix. Monsieur Felix.
And you know, he kind of like bounces out and heads after Logan. And so I'm thinking the party is kind of like starting to break up at that point. You know, Zucker is like happy to head out. Yeah, how are we on going late? We're about 15 minutes out.
Oh,
I'm good for
I'm
a
good.
couple
I got
minutes.
nowhere to be tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm
Are
good.
you sure
I kind of,
back, Kyle? You looked a
yeah,
little
no,
bit
I don't.
uncertain.
I'm off tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
So I kind of want a pizza now, just out of the blue, but
Fair.
that's just kind of an aside.
Wait, that's crazy. We're having pizza sandwiches for dinner after this.
Nice.
That's amazing. All right.
I make a
Um,
good sandwich. Anyway.
Hell yeah,
That's
you
really-
do. You're like a whole entire meal.
All right. Um, Honolulu is happy to like host people as long as needed. You know what I'm saying? She has not mastered the art of like gracefully throwing people out after a certain hour.
Honorine
And
will do
she
it.
seems to be genuinely happy that so many people are there for her, but also, you know, she intends to work the next day, and
Oh, before they go, Len will pull Gav aside again. He's like, "This is nothing about Miller. Just, um, I know you're pretty much the closest thing to a father figure that that boy has, and he's starting to come into his own and show signs of being very charming. You probably want to have that talk with him."
He's
Gav
already
just-
probably getting hair in weird places.
Yeah.
It comes to us all eventually, da. At least he didn't learn from the Jennies like I did.
I
Kinda
mean, they
worse people.
they can teach you a lot of really important things as well. I've just
Different things.
different things, yeah, but just I don't think he's ready. We're ready to have like tiny extra new Felixes running around,
No,
and
no.
he's at an unwise age.
Far too young, da.
Yeah. So just making sure you in your docket of important things to deal with. Um,
I should
getting
make
ahead
a
of it with
list.
Felix. Yeah, you should. You got paper. You can have
Got all this paper now, yeah.
you got all this paper now. Yeah. And he's just gonna pat him on the shoulder, and he's like, "It's don't feel rushed, but it's make sure you have that other talk here soon, because you're very big and she's very tiny." Pat pat.
I am not sure if I should wait before we leave or until we come back.
I say this with love, my giant friend. You have a lot to protect now that you didn't beforehand, and you are not a man of the forest. Do you think that this is a time you should be going out? I will not gainsay you if you decide it, but I would think the
There
night.
is a legitimate nervousness, and Gav starts to fidget with his hand, his Cernith hand. The last time I left the city into Heilgrund lands, I met the face of death.
You
I
did.
lost my mentor, and I lost my hand.
And that is why I say this, that you should seriously consider staying here with your bride-to-be, both to keep an eye on the city for us, since a good chunk of us will be going out, and so that she feels safe and appreciated, and that she is your priority at the moment.
You
We
are a
will miss
wise
your
man,
strength.
Conrad Len. I appreciate your counsel.
Don't let it get around.
Your secret is safe with me.
Thank you. And if you need help,
You be safe in the wilds, da.
nobody's safer in the wild than me. Out of character, go for it, Honorine. Bring it.
That was a question for our storyteller.
Oh, okay.
I was actually going to be going into that afterwards. So,
Okay.
but I want to. So,
Same
I do
vibe.
want to. This is a genuine question, Gav. How much is the idea of letting his friends go into danger without him going to keep Gav up that night?
Oh.
He didn't fucking sleep.
So
At all.
I think
He
around
tried,
midnight,
as much
Hanalord
as
just like
Hanlord tried to make him.
Stop
no, I
talking
think
over
like
each
around
other.
midnight,
Sorry.
Hanalord just like sits up and she's like, "Talk to me. What's wrong?"
My friends are going away for a bit. Out into the country. And I am not sure if I should go. I want to make sure you are safe.
She kind of leans forward and she puts her forehead against his. She says, "There is a kind of woman who marries a man and immediately seeks to change him." She says she falls in love not with the man, but with the idea of him and what she thinks he could be. She says, I'm not that woman.
I know.
You are the man you are because you risk everything for your friends, for children, for the city.
But I am leaving. They're leaving me behind, and I am not going. If I am not going with them, what happens to the city? I am the only one of the council still here, other than Arthur.
She says, what frightens me more is if something happens to one of them and you're not there, and whether or not you could forgive yourself.
There's a long pause, and she can tell Gav is thinking. I am not sure if I could.
She says, then do what you need to do.
If I am to go, I have some things I need to tell you.
She reaches for her brand new journal.
First, Frau Struber, she has ideas and thoughts, and I believe they are things that could be shared with Koenigsegger. And I am worried that if I do not return, her ideas will be lost because someone will come for her. Felix knows where they live, where they are. I would like for you two to talk. And then he puts his hand on Hannelor's belly. And I'm afraid for the city I will leave for them.
She just leans in and she puts her head on his shoulder. She says, I lost both my parents when I was young to White Plague. She says, what it taught me was that we cannot control anything. They had enough money to see doctors. They had enough. They should have been fine. They were younger, they were healthier. They were the ones the doctor said most likely to survive. And both died 3 days into being ill. She says, I like my library because it's safe. She says, I like this place because at the end of the day, something could take me and there's nothing that I could do about it. But there would still be something to know that would be passed on because I was here. A book I'd written, a journal I kept safe, a file I filed in the right place.
The city would be lost without you.
It would stumble, but it would recover. I don't need that kind of responsibility. She says, I'd rather have a dozen people here who can do what I do than just me.
That is fair. I will speak to the council again in the morning. If the opportunity presents itself, I will stay. For you and for Freiburg. And for our children.
Um, she says, "Be where you need to be."
Always.
And this is she. She's like, "I'm going to go make rations." There's so much food left over. Pack things up and make little bundles for people for the next day. Okay, cutting back to those that are like leaving. Um, I'm gonna wait for. Well, I won't wait for Rory to be back. He can catch up. As you're coming out, um, Henri has not seen Alejandra around the bear house for a while. Like the last kind of major conversation they had was that she was like gonna go talk to Elvago, right? The one that was in the city. Um, but she does kind of come in from like out of an alleyway as they're walking, um, noticing like, several members of the council present. Uh, she says, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I understand there was a celebration tonight.
Yes, there was.
Um,
Do you need me?
she says, I've got in touch with the person you asked me to get in touch with.
Oh. I'll catch up with all of you guys.
Be safe, alright?
Likewise. And they're gonna go back. I don't know if they're close to the bear house or closer to Honorane's house or whatever, but she's gonna go back someplace to chat.
Alejandra's actually leading her away,
Oh, okay.
like
All
in a
right.
particular direction.
Okay.
And the way that she leads her is into the. Moving back over to Freeburg. Is actually into the riverfront. It's amongst the sort of like there are places that are just like mazes of houses and stuff that are in this area. Um, and the particular place that she leads is fairly close to the Northern River, which I don't know if it has like a I don't have the name on hand for it right now, but it's the one that divides the Stone of the Philosopher and Riverfront. Um, it's near to one of the bridges, which is also means that it's the nearest to the waterway that leads all the way out of Isen. Does that make sense? It connects to the ocean. Um, and she's kind of quiet for much of it, for much of the walk. Um, she says this is a temporary place, but I understand that they have a permanent place here in Freiburg. Says they asked me to bring you here because they're still uncertain about trusting you and the council.
They.
Him,
Go ahead.
uh,
What did you say just now? Him?
she corrects to him.
While they're walking, Honorine is gonna try to be like a little bit casual. Like she's trying not to look like she's tense. So she's trying to make like general conversation, like, oh well, Gavin Hannelor, he proposed and she has the most lovely ring and blah da 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 da. Like
She does look genuinely like he asked her. That's fantastic.
isn't it wonderful? I'm trying to figure out what to give her for an engagement gift. Or him. Men
She's
can
so
get
small. How is she going to?
I am not sure. Apparently there's already been some experimentation, but I don't want to think too hard about that.
She just laughs at that. And kind of at the actual building, it's amongst like several like homes in this area. These are the kind of homes that Honorine would have never considered staying in until she like lived with Anjay for a little bit. And then it'd be like, okay, well, this is like fixer upper and manageable. Does that make sense? Just small.
She'll have to go give Andre a smooch before she leaves too.
But she goes around to the back of it and she opens up like a storm cellar entrance. Um, and she picks up like an oil lantern that's down there, and lights it as she goes. It's a relatively small basement. Um, the most noteworthy feature of which is that so there's two men in this basement. It's like a dirt packed floor with like a wooden beam in the middle to provide support to the upper level. Um, there's one man that's sitting on a stack of boxes. He's obviously Castilian. You would guess that he's in his 50s. Um, and the other man that is in here is impossible to tell what ethnicity he is because he's wearing a mask and he's tied otherwise naked to the pole. One of his arms is very badly burned. It's a very, very old burn. It also extends along his ribs.
Hmm.
Oh. It's not our friend, is it? It's not Rosencruz, is it?
She's never seen him without his robe.
Well, no. That's true. So she's definitely like kind of like, is that like in her face? She's not saying it out loud, but in her face she's like, is that? And then she kind of looks at the other guy.
He's how does this describe? So Honorine, I think we talked about like in her youth had a crush on like the captain of the Musketeers,
Yes.
you know, like kind of like 40, 50, like noble, you know what I'm saying? But also like the kind of person who had seen and done things and wasn't just like a court fop. Does that
Silver
make sense?
Fox, totally
So
capable, utterly charming. Yes.
everything, like your very first impression of this man is how much he reminds you of the captain of the Musketeers. Does that make sense? Like silver at his temples, like salt and pepper in his beard, and just like exudes a very quiet confidence. um,
Guess who I'm calling Daddy?
he says, "You were at the protest."
DM, can you jog my memory? Protest.
The one where the Inquisition was trying to like burn some
Oh, the
witches
bags over
and
the
like Len and Honorine were like there and interrupted it. I think Hans was Hans there as well.
No, it was Honorine and
It was Rosa, yeah.
Yeah, Len and Rosa, and Len threw a rock,
Yes.
and Honorine blew stuff up, and Rosa, like hyped up the crowd. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So she just nods.
He says Alejandro said that you wished to meet with me to discuss some matters.
Yes.
He says, I have brought you a gift.
She's gonna approach, like, to give him plenty of time to stop her from taking off the mask.
Yeah, he doesn't make a move to stop. Is she fully removing the mask or just enough that she can see like the lower half of Rosencruz's face or not? Because she will recognize him by his very distinctive burns.
Is he? So is it like a what? Is it like a?
It's like a bag with like a rope around the neck that ties back to the thing behind him. And he's also got his hands overhead through like the pillars or like the beams overhead that support the
Oh, so
ground
it's not
level.
like a theatrical mask. It's just like a bag.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was a mask. Is the other guy wearing a mask? Like what?
Nope.
Where did I get a mask from?
Because El Vago's symbol is a mask.
That's true. Okay, so she's going to sort of like tug the bag free enough to like lift up to see his chin, and then tuck the bag back down under his under the rope.
Yeah.
Gift for what? Like, hang on, let me rephrase that.
That would be a bargain. This is a gift.
Oh no, sorry, that was the player. Like I was
Oh,
trying
okay. Yeah, I'm.
a gift to bring to the authorities.
Says a gift to the council to do with as they will.
I don't have a gift for you in return. I understand that you were helping at the protest, though.
He says, I could not stand by while the Inquisition sought further power within the city.
They had innocent people on those pyres.
They always do.
I need to be very clear right now. I am not a religious woman, and as far as I'm concerned, any part of the Vatican that even remotely supports the Inquisition, I would burn them out at the roots if I could. So if that's something that you are doing, let me know how I can help.
Says, my entire country has been seized by a mad emperor and inquisitor.
That's Castile, right?
Yes. Okay. It says, one seeks to take everything from Castile, and the other simply wishes to step on its throat.
I thought that was being disrupted.
It is, as much as we can, in every way that we can. But Cardinal Verdugo is not an easy man to dissuade, and he has powerful allies who provide him support. It says, I was not supposed to interfere in the manner that I did, because my role has been to protect those who come here fleeing Castile. He says, but in order for that to work, this place must be safer than Castile. No?
How can I help?
Says, if you should receive word that something is a safe house that offers protection to those fleeing from the Inquisition, turn a blind eye. Forget you ever knew it.
I may... Never mind. I may eventually know somebody who can help provide safe houses, but I don't know yet, and I'm not going to try to find out until I know better. But I can turn a blind eye. And she's a little frustrated that it's just, like, she understands the nature of trust, and she gets it, but at the same time, she's like, ooh, it's the patience thing again. I've got to be patient. I get that.
He kind of tilts his head. He says, you wish to do more.
Yes. I am going to give this man to a person that will not see him walk out alive. He will die for what he did. Not to the city, to me, and to my sister. And I don't know if he can hear that, but she says it loud enough that Rosencruz can hear it. Like, she's pronouncing his death sentence.
Yeah, and Rosencruz definitely like shrinks away. He has a gag in his mouth. I did not want him to interrupt us.
There is, I don't think I have it in me to like present it like just me as a character, but there is a level of venom in her voice that is pure like menace. This man is going to suffer. And she is not going to feel even an instance of remorse or empathy, or he is not human to her anymore.
Alejandra's voice shakes softly as she speaks. She says, "You do not have to go anywhere to find somebody who would be happy to make his end painful."
I'm sure there's a lot of people. I am deeply offended. And like the way she says offended, like it's the best word she has. It's not a strong enough word, but
I have
language
worse words, but they're not in Eisen.
not in Eisen. Like I don't know. Like she knows a lot of languages, but she doesn't have a word for the word that she feels. But she's like, I am offended at these creatures who seek power and pursue people for things that they were born with that they cannot help. And then they have the audacity to tell people how to feel about their own humanity, and then they have the audacity to demand that others fall in line and to threaten and kill if they don't. I may be from Montaigne, but even I know that that is beyond the pale.
Man says, "The church that I grew up with was a thing of compassion, and it was a thing of learning, a place where a boy could go and be lost in stacks of books," he says, "and also find someone willing to listen to his troubles even though he was a child." He says, "It taught us to love one another, and it taught us to look into the mysteries of the world with wonder and joy. These people have not only taken lives," says, "they have taken the heart of Castile. And they try to grind it beneath their heel."
I'm so sorry.
He rises. And he moves forward and he puts both of his hands on Honoриne's shoulders.
She kind of
This is-
tenses because he's an unfamiliar person, like putting his hands on her.
Yeah, she is kind of aware that like Alejandra has made it clear that like contact is much more normal in Castile than in Montaigne. Does that make sense? His hands are very gentle. He says, "In another world, I had a son who would be your age now. He kind of smiles. He says he would have been tongue-tied in the presence of such a pretty girl, though."
I'm sorry that he's not here.
He smiles. He says, "I am as well." He says, "I don't think the end of this man," he says, "will grant you peace." He says, "But that is not why I brought him to you." He says, "I will leave you to do what you must." He says, "We will speak again." Alejandra, he looks to Alejandra. He says, "If she or the others with her ever need a safe place, you may bring them." And she kind of nods in understanding.
Would you like to go get Rosa, please?
Alejandra. And
Only-
the Kistine
Only Rosa,
Kinda-
please.
Yeah, the Castilian, like, he bows his head. He still hasn't offered a name, but he hits out. Like, he's distinctive enough that Honorine will recognize him if she sees him again, but like he didn't ask her name and didn't offer his own.
Yeah.
So
It's not like there was a commander like screaming her name across the city or anything during a battle outside of the playhouse she's famous for staying at and writing for.
yeah. The um Alejandra says, I will run as quickly as I can.
Yeah. And even though she said only Rosa, she's like fully waiting for like all of them to show up, honestly.
Well, I don't think so. I think Len and Rosa would have split off because they have to have a bit of a talk too.
They
Another
do.
talk.
Okay.
And in the meantime, Honorine's going to are they in a place that's like, if he yells, is anyone gonna hear him?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're in the most densely populated district outside of
Well then I guess she'll leave
Lucifer.
his gag on.
But
And I guess she'll
before
just go ahead.
before she goes, Alejandra like pulls a uh it's a mangoche, it's a fencing knife. It's primarily designed for defense, but you know, like she hands it to Honorine.
Thank you.
And she goes to the door and she stops at the door. She comes back and she like moves and just puts a hand on Honorine's shoulder and she kisses her on the cheek and then she goes.
What was that? Well, Honorine doesn't ask Alejandra, but I'm like, what is that for?
So,
And she definitely spends the time while they're alone, whispering to Rosencruz precisely how she expects him to die.
you may go ahead and make a resolve roll for intimidation, and I will let you take your pick of a social skill that you think would be appropriate to add to
Oh,
it.
I get to intimidate now. That's cool.
Mhm.
You want to go grab
So
it?
let's go ahead and have, we have about 15 minutes and I would like to kind of wrap up this particular scene with Honorine.
Yeah.
So is the conversation between Len and Rosa something that can be had in a few minutes?
I think so. The
I
main
think
thing.
so.
They can have their
Uh,
conversation now if you want to. Like,
Because
Yeah.
she was going to go stay over at Len's.
and he's fine with that. That wasn't part of the conversation. So he's, in fact, when she doesn't peel off towards her, you know, or kind of lean like towards her apartments, there's possibly more of a pep in his step as he considers the reason for that. But he'll also just be like, I don't know if this is one that you want to go with on.
I was actually worried that I wouldn't be of use.
Well, I know you're trying to restrict your use of your magic, and I know you don't. And I'm happy to teach you this later, but I know you don't have a lot of woodcraft, and this could very quickly turn into a battle, like an actual pitched battle between a mercenary army and the ghosts. I would feel better if you stayed here with Gav, because you know, of course, he has no idea that Gav is going to try and go anyway. To kind of keep an eye on them and to keep a presence of the council in the city. Do you have a way that we can connect, that you can, I don't know, playing a string, like strum a string between us to let me know that you need me?
Is there DM? Is there a way for Rosa to be like,
Oh, there's a ritual that allows you to feel anything that he feels.
Well, that'll be kinky for later, but
The
that's not what we're
stabbing!
talking about right now.
Oh my god, the stabbing!
I don't even think Rosa's told him about that.
I don't think she has, no. And
No.
I would not blame her for
and
not sharing that, to be honest.
yeah, no, but him asking, she would kind of go a little pale.
Never mind. It's at the pale. He's like, never mind. It's not that important. But if you
It's
want,
a ritual, but I don't think you want that ritual for both of us yet.
yeah. Well, it's something we can talk about another time. This was more of a emergency thing. But I will say, I'm not going to try and decide for you in any way, shape, or form. I just that would kind of be my preference. But if you would rather be with all of us, I will also always welcome you at my side or staring at my ass. Either way.
I was thinking if Gav was going to stay, that I would also stay.
I'm pretty sure he's going to stay, but he can be stubborn and protective. So I think we'll see how the morning goes.
Understandably.
Yep. So maybe we should all kind of gather together and see where things stand. And if he's staying, then you can stay and maybe help calm his nerves a little bit and keep an eye on things. And if he's going, well, then the whole crew might as well go. And I'll pack the 2-person tent.
We'll have to see in the morning how it goes. Is there anyone running towards us at speed?
Not yet. Because she has to go all the way
Okay.
down to find out that you're not in there, and then she has to figure out where you are. So
Does she
it's
know
going to
about
be later in
Len?
the evening. I think you guys have been like kissy faced for quite some time. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the
Mhm.
beer house knows, folks at least know that they're an item by this point.
Yeah.
They probably knew before, like the beer house folks probably knew before they knew, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
I can see
So-
what's happening.
Can you feel the love tonight?
I mean, we were gonna feel the love tonight, but now there's
Yeah.
torture.
so
Now.
Len opens the door,
Love
and
the torture.
Kathrinia kind of like stands straight up from like the living room. She's like, "Oh, thank goodness." She says you were out very late. Hi, hi, Rosa.
Hey.
Um, she
Hi,
says,
Katrina. What's up?
I have the reports back from the
Oh,
network in Usera.
when it rains, it pours. Let me guess, they're 5 days out or something.
She says they're crossing the Drakensbergs.
Okay,
She
out of
says
character. I don't know what that means.
that's the eastern mountain range, like that divides Usura and Eisen, which means that they're actually further along than they expected. Um, she says, but that is not the only thing that was discovered. There was a spy with our abilities who was tracking them, and has seen that there is movement in Posen's lands. Posen's armies are moving to intercept them.
Oh, that's gonna be messy.
I don't know why Posen would seek to. She's like, "Am I interrupting something?"
It's like, well, um, probably, but this also really needs to be addressed. Logan needs to know, and I would say Posen's probably moving to intercept because anybody would when they've noticed a giant freaking army um, coming towards their lands. It may not lead to battle, but it may very well lead to a staging and a you can move around my border, but you cannot cross my borders.
Um, I don't have enough information about the specificity of the army that Posen is moving, just that it's large.
Yeah, well, it really doesn't matter. It's going to be. I'm pretty sure that the Asuran forces do not want to have to engage anybody else. Um, so they're going to have to figure out a way to prove that they're not intending to occupy or attack Posen's lands, or they're going to have to go around, or they're going to have to fight a pitched battle. those are really the only three options here. And knowing, I don't know Posen well, but I do know that Runa's would-be sugar mama is not a woman to just roll over and say, "Yeah, I know you've got a bigger army. Come on through my lands anyway."
She says, I don't know as I would have escaped without Montague's aid.
I
She
know.
says, I'm going to fly to the Drakenburns and warn him. I don't want him walking into Posen's trap, if nothing else.
That's fair, but you'll need. I know I'm not telling you anything, but we need to know what his plan is, and we need to be absolutely certain of it. Because if he is marching on Freeburg, or if he is marching on the Fischler lands, if he's doing anything except maybe heading straight towards um, our current would-be Imperator, the Emperor, to depose him and get his wife and child back, we need to know, because that directly involves Asura, the city, pretty much every surrounding territory.
I'll ask. But I think to get to him in time, I have to go now.
Okay. And just tell him. Actually, he just puts up a finger real quick and grabs a piece of paper and dib, and just writes out just a short note. Thank you for your forbearance. I have found a new life. And I do owe you a favor. The bear. And he just folds it up and says, if you can give him that. I never really got to say thank you for not killing me.
I hope you'll get that chance.
I hope so too.
She pauses. There's just like a moment's hesitation before she gives Len a hug. It's not like romantic, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, this is a friend and I'm worried about you. And she kind of pauses and she like takes Rose's hand and she squeezes it. She says, I'm very glad he met you.
I'm glad I met him. And she's going to hold her hand and look to Len. Should you go with her?
He just kind of folds his hands in front of his head because he's like, I was going to go on the scouting mission for the ghosts. I know the Wakund probably have their own rangers and everything, but they're not me. But at the same time, we need firsthand information about what is going on with this giant army that's coming this shit. Yes. I'm gonna have to. I feel like I'm gonna have to go with her on this.
Rose is getting hugged by Katharina.
Yep.
She's like, thank you. I was so scared, but I didn't want to ask.
He's gonna grab Rosa, give her just a big old smooch. Like he's putting his full court press on here just so she has something to look forward to when he gets
Katharina
back.
is absolutely looking in other directions. Like,
Yeah.
I see nothing. Give them as much privacy as I can.
And he's gonna like tell everybody I'm sorry and why they can know. And please have somebody feed my cats.
Of course.
And he's just gonna, I love you, and I will come back to you. And then he's gonna owl Len, and out the window they go.
Yeah. Katharina transforms as well, and speaks to him. And she's like, "We have a lot to cover before dawn, because at dawn, if you don't change back, you're both trapped." So.
Yeah, I just like, well, I can help you. I can help with getting us mounts and everything once we've changed back. I know the area fairly well from coming in on here, so let's go.
I like to think Len transformed while they were still kissing, so the last little pic's just beak.
No, he does not give her beakies like that. I mean, beakies are very cute, but that's they're not there yet.
She says, once it's near dawn, you can mount me. I can be a horse.
Don't.
You can ride me.
Yeah, okay.
And you know the road I just
Brazen.
Phrasing.
She's like, "Do owls blush?" as she flies.
Yes, but you can't
Um,
see it. Oh.
And as Rosa's like watching them like fly away, Alejandra appears out of shadow.
Torturegram. Oh, sorry.
She
Candygram.
says, says Rosa.
Yes.
She says, Honorine is asking me to bring you to something.
All right. You
Says,
can tell me on the way.
You should bring a knife.
And do I have the ritual knife? I don't even remember anymore. No, I don't have a ritual knife. I just have auto. Would Len have a knife she could borrow?
I'm sure that, like, it might
Len
not be like
definitely
a
has.
fighting-ness knife, but you know.
No. Well, he's got his hunter kit that's still there. So he's got flensing knives. He's got gutting knives. He's got everything you need to take apart a large animal, and prepare
Rosa
it.
knows how to use none of it. So yeah, she's just taking the biggest knife she sees and takes it with her.
And then
That's
she
not a
leads her
knife.
through the streets. So we are right at the point where I think the best thing to do is probably drop the curtain there because we're half an hour. Um, I am not going to graphically play out a torture scene, but I do want to see the scene kind of like leading up to them talking and stuff like that. And I think we should give it, due time at the start of the next episode. And then after that, like we'll be deciding how the party's splitting. Len is already heading off in one direction, and with Len not coming, that might influence whether Gav is going or not. So, all right. I'm gonna.
Can you tell me the results of my roll so that we can both remember it for next time, though? Because if I ask you next time, you're going to be like, what did you roll? And I'll be like, I have no idea.
You're talking about the intimidation roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's too low to break as a resolve, so it doesn't grant any mechanical benefits. So,
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay.
Because there's the 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, Rose is coming and yeah, she'll be scary.
I'm just mad because I spent a drama die on that roll and it still sucked.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want 2 quick nominations for drama dice for role playing.
Gav.
Honorine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Kevin Honorine.
Okay. Is that good with everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to read us out. Thank you for everyone watching on YouTube and live on Twitch. Audience participation always means the world to us. If you're on YouTube, smash the like, hit the subscribe, make a comment in the down below. Here at Dirty 20, we always sign out with the same call to action. Be nice. Be kind when you have the spoons, but even when you're not, be nice. Be nice to strangers, be nice to family, be nice to your loved ones, and be nice to yourself. Thank you for coming on this journey with us, and we will see you next Sunday. So, bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, y'all.